try to reconnect the people, you will be destroyed.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
As someone who was surprised by how much they loved the first Moana back in 2016, the utterly deafening silence for Moana 2 is kind of depressing.
What lies beyond?
The answer. Who cares?
Like, is anybody hyped for this? Do people even know it's coming out? Or that it might even be out before this, video goes public? Disney hasn't exactly had a very positive public perception the last few years. So having a seemingly unnecessary sequel to a relatively beloved recent film, especially one that is already getting a live-action adaptation despite its young age, doesn't exactly inspire excitement, especially when it is the plot to an animated series that's been, from all appearances, haphazardly transformed into a feature-length film. Granted, I very much enjoyed the Tangled animated series, flaws and all, but my issue with Moana 2 is less with it being made into a movie, and more the marketing. Because from all we've seen, I am deeply underwhelmed. The songs aren't gripping me, I don't feel this need for Moana to go on another adventure, and the story? Girl, I can barely even tell what the story is supposed to be. It really feels like Disney is just phoning in the marketing for this one, which is odd. You would think they'd be putting in the work to get more people hyped to fork over their wallets, since the assumption is that a movie would make a bigger, quicker return than a series. Then again, Disney is no stranger to arrogance.
She was right about you. Such arrogance.
Perhaps they think that their brand name and Moana's is strong enough to carry them to success without trying. Which is a bold choice, given their recent track record. I don't think Moana 2 will be terrible, but truth be told, I'm mostly apathetic towards its existence. I don't have a strong desire to go see it, and not even a morbid curiosity. No, my interest lies specifically with Disney's problem with being as vague as possible about their movie's story and characters and all their promotional material. And so today, I want to explore that, because I might as well be paid for my hyperfixation. Marketing is its own form of storytelling. You gotta find the right hook, the right pitch to boil down your story and make it something people want to know more about. And it's a real skill. One admittedly I am trash at. I'm a writer, what do you want from me? But like anybody knows when a dish is good or bad, you know what good and bad marketing look like. If you're not giving us anything captivating in the bite-sized pieces you choose to show us, what could that say about the work as a whole? Before we begin, ciao! My name is Thomas, aka the Unicorn of War, and I talk about whatever the hell I like. Animation, games, just media discussions in general. And if you like what you find here, you enjoy the vibe, then hey, why not subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications, because like Disney seemingly hates Moana 2 and money, YouTube hates creators. You can also pledge your support for myself and the channel over on Patreon. Perks include early access videos and scripts, exclusive videos to certain tiers, and access to the private Union of War Discord server. It is very chill and gay there. And now without further ado, let the chaos commence. So, what is the plot of Moana 2? The first was pretty simple. Moana lives on a tropical island, and when that island is threatened by an ancient curse, she chooses to sail out to break said curse by restoring the heart of a mother goddess, all with the help of celebrity cameo Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and a chicken I feel resonates with me a disturbing amount. Me on election night. It's a very simple, straightforward story that deviates just enough from the usual Chosen One story to keep your interest. The vibe is great, I love the music, and for the most part, I'm a Moana stan. She's taking fate into her own hands and doing what she can for her family and her people. And you bet your ass I cry whenever I rewatch the I Am Moana scene. Now, at first glance, there doesn't really seem like a need for a sequel. Moana has saved the island, she's happy, her people are happy, life is good. But there are always new stories to tell, especially as characters get older and face new challenges, usually to reflect the audience getting older. Say what you want about Frozen 2, but it did make an effort to grow with its audience in the subjects it tried to tackle, to debatable success. The issue here with all of Moana 2 is that there's no clear hook for what kind of new story Moana's in for. We get the vague goal of uniting the people of the ocean, which, okay.
Our ancestors wanted to connect our island to all the people. of the entire ocean.
It could be directly after the first movie, with Moana's people having just rediscovered their Voyager culture, but the way the characters speak and behave, and the addition of a younger sister from Moana that is adorable but I really don't care about, makes it clear there has been a jump in time. So in all of that time, they've just never found another island with people. Perhaps that will be addressed in the film itself, but the vagueness here in the trailer leaves this conflict feeling very flimsy. It doesn't make you go, oh shit, we gotta get in gear and fix this. There's no urgency, it's just confusion. Especially because the trailers don't even give you a strong idea of the antagonists. Like, one line from some random guy mentions an island hidden in a storm that can break the curse if you reach it.
Setting foot on its sands would break the curse, bring our people together again.
To which I ask, what curse? Is there another curse in addition to the one that Te Fiti was under? Is this curse why they've been having issues finding other inhabited islands? It would be great to know. Not only do they not specify what this curse is in the first place, they don't even mention who cast it. I had to go digging in wiki pages that it was the work of the storm god Nalo.
A human could never break my curse.
Who are you?
I kind of got that vibe from the big purple tornado with the face of doom trying to be scary and failing. But you kind of need to do more than vaguely gesturing at a bad thing if you want to establish your central antagonist. This is such a wasted opportunity, especially given people have been giving Disney grievances for years about the lack of antagonists in their films, or their very hit-and-miss twist villains. The closest that we've gotten to a classic Disney villain is Magnifico in Wish, and the less said about that loser, the better. If they properly hyped up Nalo or the secondary antagonist Matangi, and trust me, we will get to her because she is being robbed before our very eyes, that's basically a marketing hack to get butts in seats. Just imagine people rushing to the theaters to see a proper return to Disney villainy. That, actually delivers, hypothetically. But nah, we can't even be bothered to give people that hook in our trailers. Gotta keep it vague. The trailers just give you the general vibe of some epic seafaring adventure without actually telling you why we're going on one. It's very head empty coded. There's no emotional investment in Moana's new journey, no clear villains that will challenge her or force her to grow as a character, no clear goal or stakes in place, and no clear theme or lesson that Moana has to learn. Like, if she fails at all of this, so what? Her people's life seems perfect right now, so what exactly is the problem here? It really feels like the pitch for a direct-to-video Disney sequel, usually one that was a pilot for a TV series that got scrapped and haphazardly sewn into a Frankenstein excuse for a movie. And quite frankly, Moana deserves better. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Beyond. It's fine enough, the hook is okay, but it's nowhere near the level of any of the first movie's soundtrack, especially How Far I'll Go. I recommend Aster Rhymemaster's video breaking down Beyond lyric-wise, but I pretty much agree with all their analysis on why it is aggressively mid. And now, I know that the internet is very, 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 very tired and jaded of Lin-Manuel Miranda, but he does at least have a distinct style. I'm no musical expert, but you can kind of tell from what we've got that a different team is at the helm this time, and I don't think it's for the better. Well, okay, that's not very fair. Mark Mancina and Opataya Fawai, I hope I said that right, both worked on the original movie's soundtrack with Miranda, and both have returned for the sequel. But the vibe that I'm getting, especially from this promotional video specifically about the music, is that Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear, the new additions, are, if not exclusively, then primarily in charge of the vocal tracks this time around.
Each one of the songs from Abigail and Emily are brought to Mark Mancina and Opataya Fawai.
I'm also going to plug Sin Squad's video about the Frozen 2 soundtrack. Don't worry, she doesn't come for the vocal tracks, but rather the score. And in turn talks about the unfortunate issue where most films wind up with very forgettable, generic scores that are serviceable, but don't really try to establish a unique identity. But what she also discusses is the popification of Disney music, where the songs in Disney films once were Broadway-inspired, heavily rooted in their specific characters, perspectives, and experiences, there have been recent efforts to switch to a more pop-oriented sound that can be theoretically divorced from the movies where it features. You listen to it in isolation, and you wouldn't necessarily know that it's from a Disney movie. You know, because Disney thinks that will make for an easier radio hit. Because obviously scrubbing art of all of its unique identities, meanings, and eccentricities for the common denominator will make it more appealing to the masses. It won't. The soundtrack dropped a few days ahead of the movie, and well, the popification is not as strong as I anticipated, thank God. The instrumentation is still very similar to the first movies, but the songs just do not leave the same impact. They are largely forgettable, and the ones the movie clearly wants to be the big hits do not hit at all. The tracks featuring Samoan singing, like Tolu Tagaloa, God, I hope I said that right, were done by Olivia Fawai, and her work is gorgeous. It's, as far as my white self is aware, authentic to Moana's Polynesian setting and culture, and musically unique, helping it to stand out in the media landscape. And also, I think it sounds pretty. But, them vocal tracks.
We thought that the music could take us somewhere very unexpected.
Wow. I hate it.
Beyond, we've already said, is very mid, very basic. We're Back doesn't fare much better. It does a decent job getting you hooked back into the world of Moana, but it's nothing special. You'll probably forget it the moment it stops playing. What could be better than this is genuinely awful. I hate listening to this one so much. I can't even bring myself to care for the whole Moana gets a crew angle, mostly because if I don't even get a sense of the personal journey for your main character, why would I then care about the side characters? Can I get a Chi who is jail, straight to jail?
Can I get it?
Nope, nope, nope. Stop talking, go to jail.
Oh.
This is the poor man's You're Welcome. The melody is far weaker, far less memorable, and the lyrics are just... no. Look, I know Maui is a too cool for school dork, but like, this makes me want to shove him into a locker along with Magnifico. As far as I can tell, Nalo gets no musical numbers, so great. You got a villain and gave them no song? Great. Well, at least Matangi got one, but it's I don't really like it that much either. By far and away, this is the poppiest number of the soundtrack, and in that regard, it at least has an easier time getting it stuck in your head. The melody has actually kind of wormed its way in already for me, but it just does not viscerally feel sinister or impressive or iconic like older Disney villain numbers, like Poor Unfortunate Souls or Mother Knows Best. This song gives me the vibe that Matangi is a bit of a thrill seeker, but I don't feel a sense of danger from her.
She is also incredibly dangerous.
It just feels like a very forgettable pop number. In a musical, you communicate your story, you know, through music. How well the song succeed at this can only be judged by watching the movie itself, but they at least have to stand on their own a little bit, and these just don't right now. Outside of Hawaii's numbers, they, by and large, fall flat. It adds to this very underwhelming feeling where Moana 2 is just dead on arrival. There is absolutely no energy or charisma to these tracks. And, speaking of Matangi, okay, Matangi, she's the thing I'm most upset about. We know nothing about this woman, and I only know about her name again from wiki diving because the trailers refuse to share it. In fact, they refuse to share any information about this character, aside from silhouetted glimpses, bats, and only one line that they routinely edit horribly.
If you try to reconnect the people, you will be destroyed.
There are different cuts and versions of it where she's threatening Moana, and like, they sound awful.
If you reconnect the people of the ocean, you will be destroyed.
And seriously, this is the only line they ever share from her. To the point I'm wondering if she even has that many lines to begin with.
If you try to reconnect the people of the ocean, you will be destroyed. 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 Destroyed.
You will be destroyed.
Girl, shut up. From my scouring, Matangi is some kind of underworld goddess who, according to her song, is stuck in a clam.
This giant clam gets real old, my dear.
You know, I've been there. Like, this giant thing that we keep seeing in the trailer, I'm pretty sure that's her clam lair. She's trapped in Clamantha from fish hooks. She gives the vibe of a trickster goddess, which, cool, but if she's no more than a roadblock villain, I'm gonna throw hands. Cause what do you mean an underworld goddess doesn't get to be our main antagonist who actually gets to have an interesting dynamic with Moana? I'm getting the sinking feeling, especially from our song and the way the trailers are routinely cut. The Matangi is basically just going to be a repeat of Tamatoa, a mimetic icon, but ultimately a minor roadblock antagonist we only have for one scene, and then we just forget her as it's back to the actual plot. It's really not helping the feeling of this being the first movie, but less and worse. Truth be told, with the sum total of nothing we have seen of Nalo, I wish Matangi got to be our main villain, because at least then it would be more of an actual character and also something new. Deka worked well enough as a force of nature kind of twist villain, but I can't take a lazy retread of that if that's going to be the route that they're going for Nalo. By far and away, Matangi is the only reason I have kept tabs on this project, because I was hoping she would be a true return to Disney villains. That she'd echo her malefic foremothers like Maleficent, Ursula, or even Gothel. But I am getting, again, a sinking feeling that the movie's just not going to care enough about her to give her the time to ascend to that status. Because the promotional material barely even gives her the time of day. Like, is she in league with Nalo? What's her goal? Where does she fit into all of this? You know, the story that also does not exist. Because the trailers don't even say who the hell she is. They barely show her off. And the first time they said her name, it was Moana's actress offhandedly saying her name as if we already knew who the hell Matangi was.
Matangi is gorgeous.
Who the hell is this bitch?
And then being cut off before she can elaborate on why she's so dangerous. It's like Auli was trying to tell the story of Matangi, give us the pitch to make us care, and then the editor was held at gunpoint by Disney to cut her off before she could get into detail because we must keep it to vibes only. It is so frustrating. I really hope I'm wrong and that she turns out to have a bigger role in the film, because it would be such a travesty of storytelling not to do more with this idea for a villain. Because yeah, she really is just kind of an idea rather than a character as far as the trailers are concerned. Like, seriously, who is she? Like, why? Who is she? I'm so frustrated that they refuse to tell us what the story is or who these people are. If you want a crash course on how to sabotage a project that should by all means be a deafening success, study Moana 2's marketing campaign, because, wow, I have never been so underwhelmed by an upcoming sequel to something I held so dear before. Maybe I'm being overdramatic, maybe Moana 2 will blow me away and turn out to be a smashing success. You know, maybe it'll even be good, but it will not be because of the marketing. Because it really feels as if Disney is going out of its way to bury this thing with just how unengaging and redundant all of these trailers have been. Just showing the same scenes over and over again about Moana going the distance and exploring beyond. And I'm just like, what does that mean? And how is this different from the first movie?
What lies beyond?
Flashback.
How far I'll go?
End of flashback.
What is the story? Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from me, then you can subscribe and ring that bell for notifications, because YouTube hates creators. And again, please consider, if you're willing and able, pledging your support over on Patreon. I'm the Unicorn of War, and good lord, Moana 2's marketing is a shit show.